This is a day where we are supporting those who are in the battle and remembering those who lost the battle. My name is Maureen O'Boyle, and I am thrilled to be here to be a part of this. It is a fantastic morning to wage hope. That's what we are all about. As you know, PurpleStride is an incredible way for us as a community to come together for an important and an urgent cause. As you know, pancreatic cancer has recently surpassed breast cancer as the third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States. Pancreatic cancer is one of the toughest diseases that is out there, as many of you know. And your hard work, every dollar that you have raised for this event, is critical in helping the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network maintain a multi-layered approach to fighting this disease. The Pancreatic Cancer Action Network is an amazing organization. Everything I've learned about it in the past 3 months has made me stand in awe. The organization has a comprehensive approach to tackling this disease. It includes raising funds, raising awareness across the country through events just like this one, providing best in case one-on-one support services for our patients, for their families and their friends, including the largest clinical trials database in the US. They advocate for us in Washington, D.C. and across the country for much needed federal research dollars. And as of this year, they have invested, get this number, more than $35 million in critical research to make advancements to improve patient outcomes. Thanks to all of these incredible efforts in the past 2 years, we have helped change the 5-year survival rate for pancreatic cancer from 6% to 8%. And it's only 2 percentage points, but that is huge. And we are well on our way to doubling the survival rate by 2020, thanks to your efforts. Every single one of you who went out there and asked friends to support your team, you are part of making that goal for 2020. So thank you. PurpleStride Charlotte has been an integral piece of this giant puzzle. At last year's event, we raised $267,000. And as of this morning, are you ready for this number? Are you ready for this number? $326,000. I mean, we're talking $100,000 more than last year, you guys. We hit our goal of $316,000, and PurpleStride Charlotte has raised over $1 million in 5 years. Wow. And it's not just about raising the money. It's about telling personal stories. It's about those of you who go out to your offices, in your classrooms, in your churches, and you tell your personal story, whether you're a survivor or you're a family member. We are raising awareness so that people know it's not just this rare disease. It's a disease that hurts people. It hurts the people who are fighting it, and it hurts the people who've lost someone to it. Speaking of awareness, we thank every single one of you who are on social media. Because when you're on social media and you use the hashtag WageHope and PurpleStride and you post your pictures, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, no matter where you are, use those hashtags. They will get into feeds faster, and use the hashtag WBTVandMe. We have a crew back at the station, and they are looking for those hashtags, WBTVandMe, as well as PurpleStride. That's how we let people know we are waging hope against this disease. We could not have done any of this without the support of everybody, all of our participants, and we want to highlight a few of the people and, of course, the companies who went above and beyond this year. First off, Let's give a round of applause for all the volunteers who worked over the past year to make this happen. They've done an amazing, amazing job. This is a volunteer-based organization in Charlotte. Today, we have Pamela Acosta-McQuart, the founder of the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. She created the organization that now is known across the country and around the world. None of this would have been possible without Pam.
Thank you, Maureen. Wow. Good morning, Charlotte. Woo! I just have to tell you guys, first of all, every single one of you is a rock star. You know, 20 years ago when my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and, you know, fought her battle back then, and I had this crazy idea to start a movement for pancreatic cancer, because when I went online to find the organization for pancreatic cancer to try to save my mother's life, there was nothing. So coming from a place of being totally naive, totally filled with grief, wanting to do something, and believing in that quote that the best way to predict the future is to help create it, I look around and I can't believe this is what my crazy little idea turned into, because of each and every one of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being so passionately committed to this cause and being so tenacious against all odds. From the beginning, they kept saying things couldn't be done, and guess what, you guys? Every time they say that, we push harder. We have gotten a bill passed in Congress mandating that the government make pancreatic cancer a national priority. We have funded over $41 million in research, and we are changing the course of history for this disease. But it is not without people just like each and every one of you. You are the fuel that drives every single bit of what we do, every bit of our success, every bit of the movement. It's because of you. So I can't thank you enough, and I am so honored to be out here with all of you today. And the fact that Charlotte has now raised over $1 million in 5 years, woo! You guys are rock stars. I love each and every one of you, and I am so thankful for all that you continue to do. Have an awesome, awesome event today.
Pamela proves the power of one person can change the world. Thank you, Pamela. I'd like to now introduce another special guest today, the head coach of our team, the Carolina Panthers, Coach Ron Rivera.
Thank you, Maureen. It's always nice to be here, it really is, for the mere fact that I get an opportunity to see so many of you that have come out and supported the Carolina Panthers, but more importantly, so many of you that have come out and have supported and given your time in waging hope. And I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of talking about waging hope. Let's wage victory. That's what we need to do. We need to wage victory so we can go forward and we can find a cure for this terrible disease. I want to thank you guys for coming out and really do appreciate your support. So thank you and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate everything that you do, because you put a face on it that we wouldn't have without your efforts. Your brother Mickey, I know, would be so very, very proud of you, Coach. Please accept this plaque. You are a champion of hope. We want you to have this, and we know that out of your grief, you have turned this into something. You've put a face on pancreatic cancer that would not have happened throughout your loss, and instead of just sitting there and being sad, you have said, I'm going to help wage hope and one day wage victory. So thank you, Coach. We would also like to thank our 2016 honorary chairs for leading the efforts and collaboration this year. Please come up to the stage as I call your name. Dr. Stephen Deal, member of the Carolina Digestive Health Associates team since 1992. Great to have you here. and also Dr. David Iannitti. I'm sure I'm saying Iannitti. Okay, sorry, I tried it. He is the chief of the Division of HPV Surgery at Carolinas Medical Center. We were very excited to host our first annual Charlotte Leadership Breakfast that took place back in June at the Panthers Den. And it was an incredible opportunity for everybody to see what it's like to know our leaders. And I want to thank you guys for your leadership and support. So if you can, our honorary chairs, we want to thank you for every single thing that you've done. And we know that with your help, you're bringing awareness and you're helping us fight this disease. Thank you very much. Now it's my honor to introduce Taran Narang from the presenting sponsor, Carolina Digestive Health Associates, to say a few words.
Thank you all for having me here, and thank you all for being here yourself in support of pancreatic cancer. I'd like to keep this short and wish you success in completing the walk or run, either way you may choose. The difference between a successful person and others is not the lack of knowledge or the lack of strength, but the will. We are here today to celebrate the knowledge, the will, the strength, all together joining hands in support of pancreatic cancer. Carolina Digestive Health Associates is honored to be a proud partner in the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network for the second year as a presenting sponsor. Thank you. CDHA and all of us as a family have gained a lot of support, and we together wage hope to conquer and win this battle. Please join us in continuing the support for this amazing organization, the survivors who have fought this and beat this cancer, and also in the memory of those who watch us from up above. Running, just like the fight against pancreatic cancer, is not about winning or losing, but about not quitting. Let's go run.
So much. Thank you for being such a huge supporter of this, Dr. Narang. Next, we would like to thank our generous sponsors. As you know, these things don't happen just boom without incredible organizations. Our national presenting sponsor is Celgene. Presenting sponsor, Carolina Digestive Health Associates, thank you. Gold sponsors, Carolina's Healthcare System. And the gold media sponsor, WBTV, which we are really grateful to be a part of this. Beasley Media Group, Grace Outdoor Advertising, and our good friends at Yelp. Our national silver sponsor is AbbVie, and our regional silver sponsor is Insys Therapeutics. We have a silver sponsor, Charlotte Gastroenterology and Hepatology, the Lane Construction Corporation, Lead Ventures, Harry Jones Consulting, and Mercedes-Benz of South Charlotte. Our bronze sponsors, Hot Shots Distributing Incorporated, and Oncology Specialists of Charlotte. Thank you to all of you who have given so much to make sure we could have this day and wage hope. Next, we'd like to award our top individual participating teams and personal participants. Joining me to present the awards are Patty and Matt Weber, your PurpleStride Charlotte team ambassadors. Our top 3 fundraising individuals as of midnight last night. In third place, we have Will Howington, who raised $7,546. Will! Woo! And I see he's also ready to run. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Our second place fundraiser is Mary Ann Allen, who raised $7,759. You can go this way. There we go. Congratulations. And our first place is Steve Casey, who raised an incredible $12,259. Steve has an incredible story. And Steve, tell me who you are here and tell the audience who you're here to represent today.
I'm here to represent both my mother and father who lost their battle to pancreatic cancer, and within a 3-year time frame I lost both of them, and so it's touched me, and as I can see here today, it's touched so many people in the Charlotte community, so thank you all.
Thank you for your efforts and sorry for your loss. Now, our top 3 fundraising team. So team captains, when we say your name, please come up and accept your award. In 3rd place, Casey's Crusaders raising $16,017. In 2nd place, Moore and Van Allen, the team raised $16,186. And raising the top amount is Trinity Partners, an astounding $30,818. Wow. Can you tell me who you're here remembering?
Yes, my husband, David Allen, died 2 years ago.
Well, we thank you. So sorry for your loss, and thank you for keeping up the fight and waging hope. Now we'd like to highlight another inspiring group that's here today, our incredible survivors. Please make your way up here to the stage. All of our pancreatic cancer survivors, we want to take a group photo. Come on, let's hear it, you guys. We are so happy that you're here. Thank you. Great to see you. Miss you, my friend. How you doing? Can we please, everybody, give them a round of applause? Let's give a round of applause to our caregivers, to all the nurses, the doctors, the counselors, and those family members who are helping them beat this disease and wage hope. This is why we are here today. This is where your dollars are going. Speaking of wonderful survivors, I'm honored to introduce a guy I just recently met who is one of our survivors, Ron Malamed.
Well, the last thing you hear or expect to hear when you turn 43 is you have pancreatic cancer. That's what happened to me this year. It all started in January when my wife came down with pneumonia. We go to the family doctor, and comes in, he looks at her, and he looks at me, and he looks at her again and says, "Never mind you," looks back at me and says, "What's wrong with you?" I thought he was kidding. I said, "I feel fine, what are you talking about?" He says, "No, you're all jaundiced. Let's go have, run a bunch of tests." So numerous blood tests and an inconclusive ultrasound, which told me I wasn't pregnant, came back with nothing. I go in for a CT, and that evening I get a call back from my doctor and says, "We found a tumor on your pancreas." Needless to say, I was kind of stunned. After that, the weird thing was I never felt sick. I never really had any major medical issues at all other than a cold. And then, I learned the truth that pancreatic cancer generally has no symptoms. So after a biopsy and an unfortunate bout with pancreatitis, I met with my surgeon and was told the good news, and that we had found the tumor early and it could be surgically removed. My luck continued with a successful Whipple procedure and a speedy recovery. And I was very fortunate they were able to remove the tumor, and we found out that the margins were clean. And it wasn't until I first met with my oncologist several weeks later that I learned the truth about pancreatic cancer and its treatment. And being relatively young and in good health, I said, hit me with everything you have to beat the cancer and make sure it doesn't come back. And I was told that the treatment I'd received is the same that's been utilized for the last 20 years, and that the standard of care really hadn't changed in that time. I said, well, what about clinical trials? Is there anything else I can do to get ahead of this? I was told that there were no clinical trials for my situation. Given the current state of medicine, I was understandably pretty shocked. When I asked if there was anything else new, I was told no, and that there really haven't been any new studies or any other treatments to address my situation that dating back to the 90s. So one of the reasons I passionately support the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, the organization understands that clinical trials don't necessarily match what the patient needs, and it's taken the lead in promoting the running of new smart clinical trials by providing information through innovative services like Know Your Tumor and driving clinical trials that are based on the actual needs of their patients. While I'm glad for any and all work done to beat this disease, the more needs to be done here at home, both through fundraising and research. I'm one of the extremely fortunate ones, both in terms of early detection and successful surgery to remove the tumor, and we need to increase awareness and funding so that my story is no longer the exception. Pancreatic cancer recently moved from the 4th to the 3rd leading cancer cause of death in the United States, and it's anticipated to become the 2nd by 2020. In order for this to change, we need a more reliable means for early detection, as well as your active participation and support, both financially and through volunteering, and we can continue to wage hope and make positive advancements to beat this disease in the future. And I thank everybody for coming out to help this year.
Ron, thank you so much for that inspiring story. It's people like Ron who encourage us to come out to events like PurpleStride so we can wage hope in this fight.
It's a pleasure being associated with PanCan and the PurpleStride. I wage hope for my patients and for their family members and loved ones.
In fact, I'm loving this film.
Thank you. I'm Dave Ionetti from HPV Surgery at Carolinas Medical Center. And I want to really appreciate PanCan for doing this. And I just want everybody to know a couple of things that really bring this home for everybody. We're going to fight this disease. There are dedicated people here in Charlotte, throughout the United States, and throughout the world for fighting pancreatic cancer. And we can fight it in different ways. As from a surgical point of view, we're making great advances. And one of the things that we want to specifically fight here is something called locally advanced pancreatic cancer, which affects about 40% of people who are diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And so we are working on development of new technologies to increase our resectability rate. We're actually developing those technologies here in conjunction with HPV surgery research, and our friends up in Virginia Tech. And actually, we are the recipients of a PanCan grant to continue our work in developing this novel technology to really fight this disease. So I want everybody to know that there are dedicated people out there in the world who are truly working their tails off to fight this disease. And through efforts like this, here in Charlotte and throughout the country, we'll be able to continue our research to continue to fight this disease. So thank you very much, because your donations and your efforts truly make a difference.
That is awesome, and we thank the PanCan Network for giving us this grant here locally. To win the battle against pancreatic cancer, we need each and every one of you to wage hope with us. These two are going to help us kick off the event, and they will head the starting line. So now, are we ready to be the loudest? Whose side's going to win? All right, so let's do it a couple of times. And we will now follow our honorary starter, of course, our head coach, Ron Rivera, to the start line. Remember, timed runners up front and walkers behind.
On your mark, get set, wait, go!
Walk it out, take cancer and knock it out.